Since 1911, the Pierre Parts Store has been your one-stop shop. Family owned and operated for 4 generations, the Pierre Parts Store has served the community by providing groceries, hardware, home products, and much more, including a full-service lumber yard. Now, we've added the Thibodaux store to the family with the same values and service we've delivered for over 100 years. The Pierre Parts Store and the Thibodaux store, our family serving your family.
All right, welcome back to Bayou Time. I'm Martin Pulse. We're very pleased to have with us someone we don't get on a whole lot, but we're certainly glad to have him on, Congressman Troy Carter. And Congressman, good to see you. How are you, sir?
Good to see you as well, Martin. Things are well. Thank you very much.
Good. Let's talk first of all. I guess we have so much to talk about, but the new redistricting maps are in. How's that change the way you do things now? And does it change it a lot, or does it just vary it a little?
Well, it changes it only in that I now pick up areas that I hadn't previously represented. But for me, I've never looked at boundary lines. I've always worked across lines to bring help wherever I could. For example, after Hurricane Ida, while until now I represented no parts of Lafourche Parish, I was among first on the ground in Lafourche, providing resources to our residents in Lafourche who needed help, even though they were not a part of my voting district, and now parts are. So that actually works out well, that I always recognize that we have a small state and we have a responsibility to work across those lines. So while this is now a part of my district and the people of Lafourche will now have an opportunity to vote for me, my entire career I've been voting for them. Same with St. Bernard. After the storms and the tornadoes in St. Bernard, I was on the ground working for the people of St. Bernard as I did in Lafourche, not because it was my district, but because it was the right thing to do. And now, as fate would have it, now I officially will be representing those parts of St. Bernard. So the 2 new areas in my district are Lafourche, parts of St. Bernard. I'm very eager to represent them, had great meetings in Lafourche and in St. Bernard, reintroducing myself to the residents there and letting them know that I look forward to being for them as I have been in the past, working to bring resources to Louisiana, to their specific districts to assist, whether it's with hurricane preparedness, coastal restoration, jobs, economic development, you name it. I fly very close to the ground. I started my career in local government and have worked with many of these parish leaders for many, many years.
Yeah, you've had a lot of prep work growing up, where you grew up, and of course the politics in that area. So St. Bernard and Lafourche shouldn't scare you at all, right?
Not at all. I feel very much at home. I grew up in Algiers, so St. Bernard is just across the river, and I've always represented the lower Ninth Ward, so it's just another mile or so down the line to pick up what's very natural for me in the relationships I've enjoyed for many years. And in Lafourche, similarly, worked very closely with Parish President Chasson and many others in that area throughout the years to provide resources. So I'm looking forward to the addition to the district.
I was glad to see on the dais the other day at Conrad Industries, you had the Democrats sitting with the Republicans. It's not indicative of what we see on the news all the time on the national scene. Y'all get along pretty well. Y'all joke around pretty well. I know there's differences in policies, but I wanted to give you a chance. And first of all, thank you, because Conrad's super excited about their contracts they've received. And they gave you a lot of credit as we're looking at some of the aerial footage right now. I know the Navy gave you a lot of credit, and so did the members of Conrad Industries. Talk about your involvement with that and what it meant for both Republicans and Democrats to recognize that this is a big deal for our industry.
Listen, Conrad Industries is a huge employer, huge part of Louisiana, our economy, and they're recognized all over the world for their strength, their ability to build these vessels. This vessel is something that we're very, very proud of. It will be able to accommodate individuals that are away from their primary vessel. When there's repair or other issues, these men and women have to have somewhere to stay. It was in 2023 that they began working on this vessel. We were able to get millions of dollars, literally, for the YRBM 57 vessels that gives the ability to build these vessels. Another $30 million was made available in fiscal year 2025, which demonstrates working together, Republican and Democrat working together for the people of Louisiana, not for any particular party. Listen, we have every right to disagree, and sometimes we do. But we disagree along philosophical lines on not what to do, but sometimes how to do it. And I'm proud to say that working closely with my colleagues in the Congress, we've been able to cross those party lines and cross the aisle to bring these resources to Louisiana to improve our economy. And in this case, not only improve our economy, but to strengthen our national and international defense. I'm a huge supporter of our military. My wife was recently confirmed by the U.S. Senate as a 2-star general in the United States Army. So obviously, I take a lot of commands at home and recognize the value of fighting for very strong defense.
Yeah, well, congratulations on that. That's a big honor. But you're right. I guess you have to walk straight, and those shoes better be shined every day, right?
That's exactly right. I take orders well.
All right, let's talk about the climate risk that we're having in the area. Recently, y'all had a grant for the United Houma Nation and others. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because a lot of people have the facts a little misinterpreted. Can you sort of set the record straight for that?
Yes. So the United Houma Nation did an incredible job working with the Greater New Orleans Foundation, GNOF, and competing for some just under $60 million in resiliency resources that will help with climate change and the issues associated with climate. This was a very, very competitive process, a process that there were nearly 1,000 applicants that were competing. And I'm happy to say that Chief Laura and her team did an incredible job, along with GNOF and others, to put together a proposal that obviously met the attention of the decision makers. Of course, we did everything we could in supporting this. We put letters of support, we helped advance, and we worked our angles to share with Washington what a perfect case example Louisiana, in this case Lafourche, would be and Hammond would be to access these resources through the Houma Nation. They have done a phenomenal job. This nearly $60 million will spread around multiple parishes that will allow us to be more resilient, to work on those issues that the Houma Nation has had to endure for many, many years being on the coast. This is a huge win for the community, and I cannot say enough of how proud I am of Principal Chief Laura and her people, who really stepped up to make the case that this is something that's going to benefit all of Louisiana, not just the specific locale of the 2 or 3 parishes that will benefit directly. But when we endeavor to make any part of our state stronger, we make our entire state stronger.
Well,
and this is real money.
Yeah,
this is one of the largest investments ever.
Let's do this. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's talk a little convention that's coming up. Let's talk a little bit about who you'd like to see maybe on the team, on the transition team, on the team itself, vice president, a little bit of that. Let's talk a little politics. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll have another 5 minutes with our Congressman Troy Carter. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.
All right, we're back. Martin Falls here with the Congressman, and he is certainly going to be busy. Congressman Troy Carter joins us again. The convention coming up. Give us some wisdom. What are you expecting? What's going to take place? And are you getting excited about it?
Well, conventions are a great time for whether you're Republican or Democrat, the Republican convention or the Democratic convention, an opportunity for members to come together and energize the base. We saw at the Republican convention a plethora of speakers and motivating their base to come out and support their candidate. Now we will have the same with the Democratic convention to bring multiple speakers and policy points to talk about the vision for America. While different parties, different visions. But I have always, in my entire career in politics, from a member of the city council to a former member of the Louisiana House of Representatives, a former member of the Louisiana Senate, and now, of course, a member of the United States Congress, have worked across party lines to do what's best for the American people. While our visions may be different, our approach to fight for America should be the same. We should want to have an economy where people can enjoy a quality of life that is better than average. We should want an environment where people can drink clean water and breathe clean air. We should want an environment where people can work and live in harmony, where they have the opportunity to be educated and have those basic freedoms and rights of all Americans. And we have to do that. So at the convention, we'll talk about those things. It's obviously a very exciting time. We'll have 3 days of speeches and people working and advancing Kamala Harris as the presumptive nominee for the Democratic Party. But listen, when the race is over, we all have a responsibility to work with whoever wins, that we have a peaceful and fair transfer of power, and that Republicans and Democrats go back to working for the American people. It is what we raised our right hand to do. It's okay to disagree. It's okay to vigorously disagree, but we should never have violence interject itself, as we saw with the attempted assassination of our former president. There's no room in our political discourse for violence. We can disagree, but we should also always do it in a way that's respectful, and do it in a way that at the end of the discussion, the needs, the wants, and desires of the American people are first, not our party politics, not our race or gender or religion, but what's best for the American people. That's how I've always governed myself. It's how I govern myself in the United States Congress. I will continue to work across the aisle. I'll continue to fight for those democratic principles of fairness, inclusion, and success and health and wealth for the American people, protecting ourselves from foreign interests, and making sure that domestically we're safe, sound, and economically solid. These are things that we could, should, and endeavor to agree on. So hopefully at the convention, we will have the kind of energy, excitement that will allow us to go forth for the next roughly 90 days until Election Day, to have a robust discussion about what's best for America, and then to sketch out the plan to actually deliver on the promises of making a more perfect union.
Well, Congressman, we appreciate you being with us. Certainly, we'd love to get you back on when you come back from the convention, and let us know what you think. And we certainly would look forward to seeing your point of view on how things went with the convention. But thank you so much for taking time in your busy schedule to be with us, and we look forward to covering you a lot more. Our districts intertwine on our viewing area. We appreciate you joining us, sir.
Well, Martin, thank you very much for the great work that you do for covering so much for so long and doing the great work. I look forward to spending a lot more time sharing with you what's going on in Washington, and equally as important, hearing how we can better serve the people of the region, of the area we are here to serve.
All right, thank you. Congressman Troy Carter joining us right here on Bayou Time. We'll take a short break. We have a lot more. Don't go away.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.